Well, welcome back to another episode of Unheard Journeys. I'm Mike DePalma, alongside my co-host, Mike Bloomfield. We are coming to you straight from Staten Island today with a great guest. Mike, I'll let you introduce him.
That's how you know who brought the guest. So, I got a good friend of mine, Vinny Bonomi. Oh, yeah. You even got claps.
I got claps.
You got claps from Trademark Graphics by Specialties by Trademark Graphics. You changed. It's got so many names and this. And
It's all about me. Just don't worry about the name.
all right, we don't care about the name. It's Vinny Bonomi.
Right. Vinny Bonomi's here.
So Vinny does, Mike, you've met Vinny at some of our holiday parties, but Vinny does all of our promotional swag, apparel, decorating for everything that we get here. So when we send out the Techie Geek Shocking Awe box, everything in that is done. The box, the mouse pads, the screen cleaners we just got, those were a big hit at the trade show we just did. The little screen cleaners, to clean your screen, those were really a big hit.
Make sure everybody takes double.
So yeah. It's funny though, because when you go out, he does some, work at different stores in the area, and he's like, take more water, because he knows they'll have to reorder.
Yeah.
We went to a funeral yesterday, unfortunately, and I do the water for them. So I said, take 2, take 3.
He walks around handing bottles of water to the guests.
Turns the heat up everywhere he goes.
Absolutely.
Giving out peanuts and pretzels.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
So, Vinny and I became, very friendly, really. It was COVID.
Yes.
So we've had this conversation in the past on other podcasts, but COVID, as alone as we all were, it brought some people together. So, right. And and you watched, if you remember, me and my friend Moss and my other friend Todd did those Facebook Live shows during COVID. And I had met Vinny prior to that, and I wasn't using Vinny. I was getting my shirts done somewhere else. And I believe the first time we met was a JCC golf outing.
That's correct.
Which you are being honored at the JCC golf outing this year.
I am being honored this year.
Was that what's the name of the award? Okay, I'm not putting you on the spot. So
that award.
Yeah, that award. But he's being honored this year. But we met there, and, we sat together at a table in the back that I don't think was supposed to be there, that they put together at the last minute.
Yes.
Because they ran out of room. And we spoke, and that was it. And then we did the Facebook Live, and COVID hit, and I'm locked in my house. And Vinny apparently had nothing better to do. He was our best viewer. He was on every episode, commenting away, making fun. And he came up with this hashtag.
Be seen, stay relevant.
Right. He was figuring out how to get us all to buy stuff, even though we were locked in. I couldn't give it away.
But jump to that a second. Be seen, stay relevant. During COVID, where nobody was buying anything and nobody could buy anything or go out, you needed to promote your brand.
You did.
And stay on top of community-oriented programs and so on and so forth, so that when the world reopens, you're the first they think of.
Absolutely. So he figured out how to get me to buy pajamas and houseware for all my for my staff.
You are a susceptible guy, though. I feel like look around his office. You could sell him anything.
It just has to be an Instagram ad.
But actually, so that came to me from somebody else, my friend Rob, who all his staff worked remotely during COVID. He's a bill collector, a collection agency, RTR Financial, for a little plug for Rob. And he had all his staff at home wear, loungewear, pajamas, T-shirts, gown shirt, whatever. Yeah. So we sold it to Mike.
Sold it to Mike. He had extras. He had bought a couple of extras. He's like, buy this. So the promo item of the year based on what Vinny's pushing to the nonprofits. That's 2 years ago it was the coolers, the Yeti coolers everyone was doing.
Sold a lot of them.
A lot of those Stanley Cups.
So, but obviously, as we spoke about, Vinny, the whole point of this show is, so we know where you are today.
Right.
We want to hear the journey, because when you look at most business owners, there's not a linear path, right? So, we want to go back to when you were a kid, 8-year-old Vinny, running the streets of Brooklyn probably as an 8-year-old.
Probably, most likely.
And we want to hear, what was your, what was your plan? What you want to be, and what did you end up doing, and how did you end up in the world of promo?
So there was no plan. There was no plan to do this, right? growing up in Brooklyn, as you said, as a young kid, sports, hanging out, doing things that you shouldn't be doing, turned into graduating high school, and my brother, myself, and 2 friends having a construction company, demolition, so on and so forth. And we did that for a few years. I'm going to skip a lot of the in-between stuff.
Yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
Yaga, yaga, yaga.
So growing up to that, fast forward, my brother gets sick. My brother, was 29 when he first got diagnosed with colon cancer. Very young age. Went into remission, was fine. 1996 or 1995, he came back. At this time, he had a 3-year-old son and his daughter wasn't born. His daughter was born January of 96. And so let's say he had a 2-month-old daughter. March 20th, which was just 30 years, he passed from colon cancer. So not knowing what to do, I was a younger kid. I said, oh my God, I need to get health insurance. I need to take care of these kids. How do I do this? And my aunt worked for the state of New York at South Beach Psychiatric Center. And I'm jumping a little bit, but I took a job, South Beach Psychiatric Center, and couldn't do it. It just wasn't for me. I walked in the first day and said, I quit. I'm not doing
One
this.
day?
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
What was it on the first day that made you know I can't do this?
So when people walk, it's not that I can't do this, and I'll get to this. So you walk into a locked facility with psychiatric patients, drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes at the time, just wandering around. And I'm like, this isn't me. I'm from the streets of Brooklyn doing construction, and what kind of world is this?
Okay.
So I was nervous. I was scared, the whole thing. But I walked in the first day, and I'll never forget this guy, Robert, says to me, you have $1? I was like, yeah, it's $1. He says, can you buy me a soda? So I said, where do I buy you a soda? He says, at the corner store. So I said, okay. Stupid me. I go walk to the corner store. Corner store is a half mile away. So you walk a half mile there, buy the soda, half mile back, give him the soda. Now I walk into work. My boss says, where were you? I was like, I had to buy a soda for Robert. He says, you work. You don't go buy a soda for somebody. You have to work. So I was like, listen, this isn't for me. I can't do this. He says, all right, go. Come back tomorrow. All right. Next day I walk in, see Robert, can you buy me a soda? It's like, no, I can't buy you a soda anymore. So I walk in and I said, listen, I did some soul searching. And again, I'm paraphrasing all of this, but he says, so what do you want to do? I said, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. I can't work in a locked facility with people that smoke cigarettes and drink coffee and spit on the floor, just not for me. So he says, well, what would you do different? I said, well, first thing I do is I'd put a soda machine in so the guy doesn't have to walk a mile to get a soda. He stops and he looks at me and he says, that's a great idea. Why don't you do that? I said, what do you mean? We put in 20 soda machines on the grounds of South Beach Psychiatric Center. And I gave people jobs to fill the soda machines, collect the money, and so on and so on.
Who are you giving the jobs to? The actual people living in the facility?
People living in the facility.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So it was the first paid job that they had. And what a difference it made for them. It made them, gave their life meaning. They didn't care if they were getting paid $1, $2, $10. They were doing something. So from there, I was like, you know what? I kind of like this. I'm a business person. I like doing things like this. We did $140,000 the first year in business. I started from the soda machine. We called it the Soda Project. From the Soda Project, we started a gift shop. We started a cleaning supply company. We started an outside cleaning, like we would sweep up bank parking lots, things like that. And we ran out of things to do. And that's where we came up with T-shirts, which was supposed to be a donut shop. And then it became T-shirts.
How do you go from donut shop to T-shirt?
Because we couldn't handle making donuts.
Okay. T-shirts
Those were early
easier?
mornings,
T-shirts-
Mike. Those are early mornings.
T-shirts were easier. So that was, I said 96. So we started the T-shirt business in 96. So my timeline might be off a little bit. But so we started the T-shirt business, Specialties it was called. It was the first affirmative business to employ people with mental health disabilities that was successful. And getting that off the ground was a chore in itself.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know anything about making T-shirts.
Yeah.
So we lost a lot of money the first year. But the way it got started, see, this is where faith comes in. I don't know if you guys believe in that. And if I'm rambling, just stop me. But we got a check from the mayor. And the mayor gave us $35,000 to go buy equipment. And we went to 7 places. Said, listen, we start this program. It's going to hire disabled people. We're going to make T-shirts. Everybody laughed at us and threw us out. We walked to this one place in New Jersey. It was our last shot. And he said, what are you doing? So we said, we're going to buy T-shirts with a fellow director of mine. I said, we're going to buy T-shirts. We're going to make T-shirts and sell them to people. We were going to sell them to Kmart. Sell them to Kmart, and we're going to employ people. He says, do yourself a favor. On your way out the door, buy this book, How to Screen Print for Fun and Profit. So we said, you're not going to sell us the equipment? He says, no. So we're walking out, and there was cards on the table with this book. So the guy looks at the Rando. He says, yeah, I'm Gary Rando. He says, my uncle is Rando. So he says, who's your uncle? He says, blind, he's a musician, he plays the piano, he does all these, he sings. He says, it's my uncle. Turns out they were long lost cousins.
Come on.
They haven't seen each other since they were in diapers. Jumps over the counter, hugs him, says, whatever you need, I'm here for you. Gives us all the equipment, comes, sets it up, teaches us how to print. So it would have never got started if we didn't go buy that book.
If you didn't look at that book.
If we didn't look at the book. That's how it all started. And from there, the first year we lost $120,000 because we didn't know what we were doing. Second year, we only lost 70, so we were good.
We were good.
Yeah. By the 4th year, 9/11 happened. In the interim, we made a deal with Brother. Brother International came up with this direct-to-garment printing, which prints directly onto the shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So we were beta testers for them. The only ones on the East Coast. 9/11 happened. Everybody wanted shirts with a fireman's picture, somebody that they lost, and that really made us take off. From that moment on.
So the original idea was to make your own T-shirts to sell them.
Yes.
And then it was from that, from the 9/11, you started to say, I could start making customized stuff.
Well, so.
Or am I missing it?
The idea, the premise to do this was to make T-shirts and sell them to Kmart, right?
Yeah.
Race cars on a T-shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
To be able to say, we're having disabled people help, so
Correct.
they could put a tag on it.
That didn't work. That lasted a week.
Yeah.
Then we became custom screen printers. And you do little leagues, you do schools, you do things like that. But again, we didn't know what we were doing. It took us 6 months before we can get an image straight on a shirt. Yeah. So it didn't last long doing it that way. But that was the premise to start it.
Yeah.
Right. And then you started with that as shirts and decorating shirts. And then when did promo come into it? How much later?
Probably a year or so we started doing that. But there's a very little margin in promos. So again, we weren't about making money because we were a non-for-profit. We were about employing people. So if you made $100,000 a year and it cost you $15,000 to employ somebody, you can hire that many more people. Right. We had to be at 0 at the end of the year. But to get more people employed, because you can only fit so many people on a screen printing machine, we decided, let's go into promos. They can do the research. They can do this, and we can grow that way, which we did. So our business, when we started, was 90-10 promos, then 80-20, 70-30. Now it's about 50-50. So, and it's different now. It's a different type of business and it's no longer a program. We actually, during COVID, we had to close down specialties after 25 years.
At the max, how many were you employing?
Per year?
Yeah.
So we employed upwards of 37 people on our payroll. But we served, it's the difference between employing and serving. We served 65. So we had 2 schools that came in. We would do skills training with them. We had the JCC, DAHAB come in. So we had different programs come in and learn what they should, how to work. And not just print, but how to get along with people, how to build a team, do sales, do deliveries. So that's my story.
That is pretty crazy to think that you didn't go into this job, that walking in the door saying, I'm going to create a business. You went in there to get a job.
Right.
It lasted 24 hours. It's pretty amazing.
I went to get a job because stupid me thought that I had to get a job with insurance to take care of my brother's kids. And little did I know you can't do that. It doesn't work.
You
like
thought
that.
the health insurance would be able to be used for them.
Yeah, I had no idea how this
You have
worked.
to adopt. Well, yeah.
No idea. But that was the whole premise. Like, my brother just died. I got to take care of his family. So
Right.
There's a lot of stories that go on into how we developed and how we built. I told you we lost I think it was 140,000 that
Year
first
one.
year. Before we closed 2019, we were doing almost 1.8, 1.9 million in sales.
And did you still have the soda business going, or was that part of it? Was that keeping the engine going?
I left South Beach, so they took over the soda, but Specialties started its own soda and put machines throughout the community. So we did that for a bit until it became overwhelming.
Right. You did some of the South Avenue stuff down there, right? The office buildings.
Yeah. So we had, Corporate Commons?
Yes.
We had Corporate Commons. We had some of the other ones we had. The old Willowbrook site.
Did you ever do the zoo? No,
we did not do the zoo. We had the old Willowbrook site. We had Corporate Commons. We had Seaman Society.
Okay.
So things like that.
So knowing Vinny and seeing people, like even to this day, we'll be out eating lunch. That's what we do best. And all of a sudden, someone will come up to him and he'll recognize him, and they worked in the program or worked for him 20 years ago. And they like come up, Vinny, and they talk to him, and you see these, and they're usually part of a group because they're going on like their day habit there, and they remember him, and they come up, and he knows everyone's name and how are you, how are you doing, and then they walk away. I'm like, who's that? He'll be like, well, he worked for me this year and this and helped, and even Massimo, right, with his sister.
So Massimo's sister used to work for me. Do you know Massimo?
Yeah.
So Massimo had his sister was a great singer, piano, singing, magnificent voice. She was blind and had a disability. And she worked for me. And I never told Massimo this. I used to play in his golf outing. I used to do all this. It's not my style to do that, right? I mean, it's your sister, and God bless. And he found out later on. He says, how come you never told me this? I would have used you from day one. I said, because I don't want you to use me because I hired your sister. I want you to use me because I'm good at what I do.
Right.
And
well, he didn't believe you knew his sister, right, in the beginning.
Yeah,
and
I had to show him that.
And then when you remembered the song she would sing or something, that's like he said. He told us, I was like, this guy's trying to bullshit me.
Yeah, no.
He's like, this guy don't know my sister. My sister didn't like anybody. And then
he said she couldn't work for you with machines and things like. Yes, she did.
And then and Ma says, and all of a sudden he told them, I realized he knows my sister.
Yeah.
And she used to love like coming to work, right?
She loved coming to work. Again, people have different skill sets, right? So she was blind. She couldn't be near certain machinery because it's dangerous. But she would stay at the end of the dryer, catch the shirts, lay them out by, I don't know how she did by size. I don't know if somebody told her. I don't know how she did it, but she would lay them out, small, medium, large, package them. And it worked.
Yeah.
We had some unique, so it's not about making shirts. Well, back then it wasn't about making shirts, right? It was about, again, employing people, giving people a meaningful life. We had It was called the Gift of Limbs here on Staten Island. And the Rotaries were involved with it, Bill and Hillary Clinton. And they were Sierra Leone refugees that came over. You know anything about Sierra Leone? The rebels would take Mike and his children and set them on fire, chop off their limbs, the whole thing. So we had 8 individuals from Sierra Leone working. They had no arms. Yeah. They had missing ears. Like, it was just, what could they do? What could a guy with no arms do in a print shop?
Yeah.
He worked. For 10 years, he worked for me in the print shop, carrying things, cleaning things, whatever he could do.
You just said he had no arms. How was he carrying things?
He had prosthetics.
Oh.
Prostheses?
No, you got it.
Yeah. So for 10 years. And we had this whole big fundraiser. So it was just about, again, not making shirts. Who cared about the shirts?
Yeah.
And it's a shame because that is, you look at it, so right, we talk about different things with COVID, and COVID really brought that program down.
COVID killed it, right?
Because they couldn't, that was a highly susceptible, demographic. They were keeping them, so you couldn't even do it. People weren't buying shirts.
Well, nobody was buying shirts, right?
Yeah.
There were no schools. There were no businesses open. There was nothing.
Yeah.
So we did adapt and went to PPEs, hand sanitizers, masks. Masks were big. But again, you're doing $1.8 million a year.
Yeah, it's a lot of
now now you're doing 200,000.
Yeah.
If that. That's on a good year.
Right. So even a nonprofit's going to look and say, hey, now we're losing money.
Right.
Because you're employing all these people. So that was sad. But,
it was sad because it was, in my eyes, it wasn't the right thing to do for all those folks that dedicated their time into specialties. They worked there. They grew. They became a family.
Yeah.
And then just to say, sorry, we're closing.
Yeah.
And lock the doors. All the staff that worked, so on. But so that was 2020, right?
Yeah.
2020. So I said, okay, I'm done. On to the next chapter of my life. Take a couple of months off and go. And then all my guys kept calling me. We're opening. You can go back to work now. Can we open? Like, there is no more specialties.
Yeah.
So I placed the folks that work for me where I could. Like whoever needed a job, I tried to help and gave them a job. And then I opened up again and hired 4 or 5 individuals back. And they worked for me in another print shop. So here I am, back to bigger and better things.
So we go back to 8-year-old Vinny.
8-year-old Vinny.
What was your dream? If you could do anything in the like, what did 8-year-old Vinny want to do?
Play in the NHL. Be a hockey player. Yeah.
You played baseball too, right?
I played baseball and hockey. Those were my 2.
Mike was going to be in the Italian major leagues.
Yeah. Well, my dream was to play center field for the Mets. But yeah, I played in college and I got offered a contract to play over in Italy.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
And it came with not a bus boy. Was it a bus boy job? Or
yeah, it came $2,500 a month, and the owner owned a couple of restaurants. All the Americans just busboyed in his.
Wow. So, Met fan.
Diehard Met fan.
So am I.
We're going to opening day.
We're going to opening day Thursday.
Are you?
Yes. Funny story. I played Gil. Are you from this area?
I'm from Connecticut, Norwalk.
Okay. So we play. Brooklyn had Gil Hodges Little League. Played baseball there, travel baseball, state champs, the whole thing. The person who taught me how to play and the number I wore was number 16 for Lee Mazzilli.
Come on.
So Lee Mazzilli was a few years older than me.
Yeah.
And he played in Gil Hodges. And I would play catch with him all the time, and he taught me how to play.
That was one of my father's favorite players, Lee Mazzilli.
Yeah.
Always, because he came back to the Mets. He was on the 86 team. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he had this little girlfriend. She was maybe 5 feet, but friendly. She came to all the games.
Yeah.
And we just hit it off.
That is crazy.
He did with all the guys, not just me. Like all the travel baseball team. So
hockey, that's sweet.
So hockey was a different story. Hockey, I was a jerk.
You got to be a jerk on the ice, though.
No. Are you a hockey fan?
Not really, but I had a buddies that are really into it.
So early 80s was the Islanders were great. So I idolized the Islanders and Billy Smith and played goalie just like that. Hit people with the sticks, punch them as they went by. I was bad, but I was good. And my high school closed down my junior year, and I was offered a scholarship to go to Severian High School, and I turned it down. I said, I'm not going. I'd rather hang out.
Yeah.
And they said, if you go to Severian High School, you play hockey for us. We have a contact in Boston. We can get you there. It's like, no, I'd rather hang out.
Hang out in the social clubs in Brooklyn.
Well, we'll edit that out.
Okay.
So we could, I could have went somewhere with hockey. I think I had the potential to go
Do you
somewhere.
regret it?
100%.
Oh, do you?
My father didn't talk to me for 6 months.
Mm.
He said, you're passing up a scholarship to be the man,
Yeah.
to go hang out? So yeah, I regret it. Every day.
Really?
Yeah.
You should do it.
I had state, was it Junior Olympics? I turned down the tryouts for them. So.
We'd ended on a high note here.
Yeah.
Just had this beautiful podcast.
Well, here's what we're going to do. How can we get you to play?
Today,
Yeah.
training for like 6 years, get back in shape.
Well, we just can't Moss know somebody at the Rangers. We'll just throw you on the ice.
No more donuts. That's how I started playing. A friend of mine gave me well, not all of them, but the goalie gloves of John Davidson. I don't know if you don't know John.
I don't know.
John Davidson was a Ranger legend. He was a goalie and then a broadcaster and general manager. And playing hockey, I was just playing hockey in the schoolyard with duct tape on your pants. My friend gave me these gloves and said, they're John Davidson. I said, no, they're not. And I looked and said, John Davidson. And that's how I became a goalie.
That's wild.
All right, so we got to bring this to a high note before we end.
Okay.
So, I think it's in June, you are receiving the JCC,
The JCC award in
Awards.
June.
whatever the name is that I am on the committee. I probably should know. It's something like the Pride of Staten Island or something.
Something I don't know.
Something like
I
that.
got to be honest with you.
But he's being honored by the Jewish Community Center here for everything
Thank you.
he does. And then a week later, he is getting a Staten Island Bridges Award by another organization on Staten Island. So it's going to be a very expensive but very awarding time for
it's
you.
a very rewarding, awarding time. And I really do appreciate Techie Geek and Mike Bloomfield for their nominating me and volunteering to take 2 tables and to supply 20 people to go
in your honor.
in my honor.
And buying swag, right?
And buying
too.
swag to dress up to go there. I'll supply the swag. So,
You think I'll pay for?
yeah, eventually. So,
But no, that's awesome. Because that is the one thing over the years of knowing Vinny, he stays behind the scenes and he's not really ever honored. We have a nonprofit impact group that we formed together with a couple of friends, and that was again one of Vinny's ideas of, hey, let's give back. How can we give back to the community? And he's always behind the scenes, and so I'm very proud and honored to be a friend, but to see you getting the recognition that you don't always get.
well, I thank you, but it's not me. I'm not a front and center guy. I don't do podcasts. I don't do these things.
And it's funny though, because be seen, stay relevant.
That's what I was going to say, the same thing.
Because it's different, right? Be seen, stay relevant is business. I don't like accolades. I don't like being front and center. I'd rather be in the background.
I don't think you don't ever wear your own T-shirts.
I never wear printed or embroidered shirts.
The BC stay relevant, but do you have your wait? Whose pen you using today? Oh, you took this from Nicole's office.
I did. So,
Don't steal her pen.
I don't. It's not my style. So Mike makes fun of me because Mike is. You see what Mike?
Mike.
And he's like, how come you don't do this? Like, how are you like behind the scenes all the time? And I'm the one that's out in front. We walk through a trade show and he's selling me. I'm not selling. So.
Yeah,
He does it for me too.
Yeah.
I'm good at selling other people.
Well, you're good at selling yourself too.
Sometimes.
So, but it's all good, and I appreciate the time that you guys took to do this with me. But
He's like, but now I want to go eat some sweets.
now it's time to go.
No, but but again, it's one of the things we see. There's not this linear path, right? When you were teenage years, even high school.
He's
out of
trying to pull this
no,
out.
no, no,
He's
no,
trying.
no, no. But you never thought you would be doing T-shirts,
No.
but you still have that entrepreneurial, So throughout, even in what you've done, right? So you went and the soda machines and this, it's all a part of it.
It all linked, and I think what really makes it successful is. So today's business, right? If you have a second. So today's business is different. So we still employ people with disabilities on a smaller level. But this is a for-profit business for myself.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a little different from what it was. But I would not have done what I do without it being for somebody else.
Yeah.
So if there was no non-for-profit start, I would have never did this.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's just about giving people. My wife always says it: if you don't give back, then what are you doing?
Yeah. Right.
So, and I was taught by my parents: do better than me, do better than the next person. And my way of doing better is by helping people in a help yourself type of way.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you.
thank you.
That was another interesting episode of Unheard Journeys, and we have more coming. And like, follow, subscribe, right? All over here. We don't know where we're putting it. Thank you, Vinny.
Thank you
guys.
so much.
And
That
then,
was awesome.
and what's the website? TMGpromos.com.
TMGpromos.com.
TMGpromos.com.